What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here. Welcome on back, and this time around we are going down into the Stone Coffin Fissure. If you haven't reached this previously, you start at Cerulean Coast Cross, and you just work your way down the coast, and then you jump on down. Eventually you end up down here from up there. But this area only becomes accessible after you have reached the proximity of the Shadow Keep and shattered the rune. Gonna head on in. So we'll toss our lantern on. Very cool zone, very pretty. So after getting that grace, the first thing we're gonna do is actually take this upper path. That's gonna circle us around a couple different things in addition to getting us some loot. There's a bunch of the congealed masses in here. These guys don't really take any damage from physical. Pure magic damage will mess them up, so we have our perfume bottle on. We'll be using that when the time comes to take out groupings of them. It's just to show how well that works. And you should be able to use a couple of the perfume bottles here. The biggest thing is just you want to hit these guys with some type of elemental damage. But you don't need to spend a ton of time on that one. You can just go ahead and grab the congealed putrescence, and then we'll start making our way dropping down. There's one right here. You can snipe him if you want. Otherwise, just drop down and take him out. What do we have on? Guard counters. We're going to take that off. Instead, we'll go back to Xander's Shard. We're going to round the corner here. St. Trina's Arrow. There's a couple enemies, but that's just the route you would have taken if you came the normal path. Nothing like loot-wise to worry about. Just run up ahead and the floor is going to collapse. And when it does, we're going to head on over. Somebody looking at me? No. Put this back up. We're going to head on over here to the left. Take down this guy and get some deep purple lilies. This next part, we got a little bit of a brawl. Tell you what, man, backhand blades. These things slap. Just boom, 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 boom. Massive damage, massive damage. A couple of them, you'll notice, they have sleep weapons on, so just be aware of that. One's trying to puke some sleep. That one's trying to call some friends. Last thing you want is these things to put you to sleep and then give you a bop. After you grab the goodies, should be able to run ahead. That guy has some dialogue. You know, it's all the ghost. All the ghosts have dialogue. Get another skibidi-doo fragment. Interact with the cross. Abandon here, my love. And a whole thing about, like, how can you go on without that, Miquella? Shadow 3 Grace Cross, SDF 28. Head west from the Grace. Straight west this way, and we're going to drop down for St. Trina's Sword. Right. Snatching up the goodies. And at launch this, actually, it would buff your offhand weapon when you use the enchant. I haven't looked at it since then. But I mean, it's very similar to the existing St. Trina's Sword. So, if not for nothing, you know, By using it, you now have 2 Saint Trina blades with sleep, so double the sleep, double the fun. Gotta love these guys. They're just slowly coming down. No, the purple. It's okay. We can collect more of those later. Grab the Glowwort 3. Hop onto the stone boat for a grave 2 in the back, and then we're going to proceed down past these snipers. I believe this is our one with the grave 2. I'll be able to get there this way. There she is. The grace is like there. So as we begin approaching, these guys are rather annoying. The best piece of advice I can give is to just keep running. Like running with the shield up. You can roll through them though. But yeah, very very not fun to deal with. Constant sniper fire. That one's really annoying, but there's some loot over here we're going to grab real fast, so even if it means this guy almost shooting us in the back a few times, and them dying is going to top our health off, so... And now all the balls roll down the hill. Now we're going to go up and take care of that asshole. All right. Very nice to have that done with. Nectar blood, get the smithing stone, run up ahead and slap this last one. Jump and roll immediately before those explode. And we made it down. So this next part, you might want to swap to like an inseparable or something. There's some Skellies we're going to fight. Instead of taking this path, we're going to take this lower path that we see over there. So jump this gap. Then we can fall down here. And right here, looks just like a crap piece of nothing, but it's actually a new spell. Mass of Putrescence. Pretty interesting. It's like a big old blob of putrescence. I would avoid the putrescence guys for now. Focus on making your way up top. We'll take them down, grab the loot. I see you up there. Don't worry, Mr. Skelly, I'm coming. And another one. There's a big old mass of putrescence below us. We're going to take care of that, but we need to be on even ground to take care of that. So try to kill it in a second. First, we'll go this way just to show where this is at. If you had taken the alternate path, this is where we would have ended up. So instead of going down, we would have come up here, fought past a couple Skellies, and then you would have been right where we're at right now. Which is good to know in the event that you die. But now that we have even ground, let's get you with the charge. Boom, 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 boom. I think the fire version would probably work best since these guys are pretty weak to fire. But that still gets the job done. You don't have to kill this thing either, but you do get a pretty nice chunk of putrescence off of it. Let's see, 8 as well as the smithing stone. We're done with that now. We can put on our normal weapon again. Misbegotten. That's not what I meant to do. Multi-layered Ring of Light, which is actually a phenomenal incantation. It's one of my new favorite incantations. Thing does a ton of damage. Very good range. Just all around a excellent ability. Right, and then jumping across. I'll grab these. And then the very last thing, now that we're here. Why, Cowboy? Why? Because look at all the thin beast bones I'm getting. Arrows don't come free. And rest. So up next, we're gonna have probably the first serious boss challenge we've had in a while. For this guy, I think the last like serious one I would think would be like Dancing Lion or Rolana. For the Putrescent Knight, as soon as you get down there, there's a summon for Teoliar. He's basically just a different body for it to attack. I don't think he really contributes all that much. There are two big things to be aware of with this fight. He is going to dismount his horse, and then his horse will rush at you, and then after the horse rushes at you, it'll do a, I call it crazy spin. So what you're going to do, you're going to fight unlocked. You're going to dodge to the side for the horse, dodge forward through his shit. At an additional part of the fight, he is going to become a bundle of putrescence and start spewing out tons and tons and tons of fire. When he does that, I would highly suggest... Oh, how short am I? 36? Damn, I would really like to have that on. I would suggest to just hop. Just hop. Just jump over it, jump over the flames. As long as you can survive those two attacks, his spinny to winny and his flame thing, you'll be good. Those are the most dangerous attacks. The rest of the fight is pretty straightforward. Definitely reminiscent of Orphan of Kos to a lesser extent. Not so much like just because it's an insane boss, but you know, the type of blade it uses, the type of movements it has. Big Orphan vibes. It's a long way down. There's Thiolier's sign. I don't believe you have to summon him for this quest, but get your buddy out as soon as you can. And here he comes. Dun, 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 dun. So horse to the side, roll through him. Horse to the side, roll through him. He'll chuck his weapon at you. Okay. Did you stop that? Alright, now he's doing his stuff, so get ready. Jump. 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 Like I said, as long as you jump that, you're going to be in good shape. Side, go through the spin. Go to the side, go through the spin. We got him down. I mean, in terms of like his raw damage, I don't think he hits incredibly hard. But those two moves, the like go to the side, go through it, and then jumping the fire, those will just mess you up if you're not careful. So yeah, as long as you can handle that, you should be good for this fight. And if you can't, honestly, you got a grace right before it, so if you can't pull this off, just, you know, leave, come back later. It's fine. Now that we got the grace, let's go back to Round Table real fast, just to discuss his stuff. Like, it's been a while since we've had a Remembrance boss. Yeah, I never did buy one of these. I mean, would I use it? I probably wouldn't. Talking about stuff though, Putrescent's Cleaver is a great axe. You have this like weird backflip chase after people thing with it. That's pretty cool. Little bit goofy to use in PvE because of high commitment, but a cool weapon, has solid damage, has some built-in frostbite. I like it. And then Vortex of Putrescence. That one didn't really impress me that much. It throws out the same Putrescence fire jets that the boss uses, but I feel like it doesn't hit as hard as it should. That might get patched in the future, but between the two of them, I would actually recommend the Cleaver, obviously. I always tend to go towards weapons. I'll pick up some gear for this character. Anyway, warp him back on down to Garden of Deep Purple. And now it's time for Thiolier's quest to basically reach completion. So, let's go on down here, and we're gonna die 4 times. It's the cookbook. Grab plenty of those. And this is fun. I think we just needed to die 4 separate times and then dialogue starts. The funny thing though, both myself and a bunch of other people were trying to figure out the quest line and trying different things. So like I tried using Miquella's rune. You can find Miquella's rune later, and I was like, wait, maybe that's it, because it says something about breaking charms. Maybe I need to use Miquella's rune and then talk to Saint Trina, and that's gonna do it. And then Rory was like, well, there's the thing about Thiolier's concoction and how it would, you know, only put an ancient dragon to sleep, so maybe we need to be an ancient dragon to do it. And so we were trying, you know, all of these different things to figure it out. And in his case, he was like, the dragon thing worked because it happened to be the 4th time he died. And in my case, I was like, Miquella's rune worked. You just got to use Miquella's rune when you talk to her. And, you know, the case was neither. It was very much a, you know, correlation doesn't equal causation type situation. Because it just happened to be that in both cases it lined up with the 4th time we had died and we were just trying something new. And surprise, the 4th time you talk to her, the dialogue commences, so. Just gotta keep imbibing that nectar. Fourth time's the charm. Go on in and you'll notice the death scene changes a little bit.
Miquella, stop. Don't turn the poor thing into a god.
Lore. And there's even more that Saint Trina will say as well, but for now, we want to go on over here and talk to Homeboy, and he goes, oh no, Saint Trina will kill you, and you're like, actually, I already heard, and he's like, no you didn't, I am the mega simp, and then you're like, bro, listen, and he's like, stop lying to me, she only loves me, and you're like, whatever bro, I'm gonna keep imbibing that nectar, and then he is gonna get big mad, and he's gonna invade you. But because he's as weak as a kitten and thick as 2 planks, he's gonna get his ass beat. Unless he doesn't, in which case that's embarrassing.
Godhood would be Miquella's prison. A caged divinity is beyond saving.
So this time when you spawn, go ahead and buff up if you got buffs.
I will never forgive you. You will know my poison.
You get Saint Trina's Smile. It's gonna buff your AR anytime an enemy falls asleep in the vicinity. And then we're gonna do it again. Drinking up all that Trina nectar.
You must
All right. And so now we can talk to Teolier again. He's now just a little slump.
I was no good to anyone. Weak as a kitten. I suppose died. Tell me, assuming you spoke, what did Strinas tell you? You... Such a... Could it? Please, in my... Sentry in my...
And we'll do one more time. Then we're done. I think I don't know if she has more dialogue. I think we're just resetting the zone here, but we might as well just do this. "15-minute area, 15 minutes of dying repeatedly for lore."
You must kill.
Alright, so we have exhausted St. Trina's dialogue. And at this point, Teolier's quest is basically done. We can now bring him in as a summon later on. So, also I was going to say now is But for 2 late game boss fights, we can now bring him in. And we will get access to all of his gear at the end of the game. I don't know 100% if we have to summon him, but I'll figure that out before we get to the very end. But for now, at least, we are done with Stone Coffin Fissure. And we have done everything with the exception of Bale before we head into the Shadow Keep. So in the next episode, we're going to make our way through the Shadow Keep. Probably not getting to Mesmer immediately. Shadow Keep is pretty beefy. It's probably going to be a 2-parter, but yeah, compared to the other Legacy dungeons, Shadow Keep is like the size of both put together. So stay tuned, and we will be making our way through the keep in the next part.